Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ultimate Texas Podcast. Yeah. Our Bill, Lucy, and Shannon Tracy. It's going to be great. Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Shannon Tracy. This is a great one because we're talking about our fun stuff, Kawasaki mules, and
this is fun.
Guns and good people, ghillies as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell us about yourself. So Alvin, Texas is close to where I grew up in Friendswood, Texas, right? So have you always been in Alvin, Texas, or have you grown up somewhere?
No, I grew up in Deer Park. I went to 18 schools growing up, in and out of schools. My dad was construction, but I ended up in Deer Park, Texas. And he's talking about ghillies. That was back, in the disco days and country. So I did both. Come inside,
you can see our big ghillies sign right there.
Yes, yes.
Mickey Ghilly's been in that chair back there as well. So
that's
we
right.
got this connection even before we knew about you and the whole thing. So yeah.
Well, what's really cool later on in life, in 2015, Mickey Ghilly walked in my store in Alvin looking for a tractor.
Wow.
And immediately we just kind of really connected, and our birthdays are real close. Mm-hmm. And he's just he was an awesome man besides being an entertainer. And awesome person, but
we just sit back and just talk to you, right? I mean, he came in our store, he's just sitting back.
Very humble, and he would do anything for his fans. He sang all the way to the end. We did a big 50th anniversary celebration in Galveston about 6 months before he passed away, his 50th anniversary. But I have a really nice tribute of ghillies of Mickey at our store.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
When you walk in.
You definitely have to go to Alvin, Texas, and see the UVC store. Mm-hmm. It is a shrine. It's kind of like our shop. It's got the Texas decor.
Mm-hmm. It's an
cool
experience.
Stuff. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like you walking in. Am I inside? Am I going to buy a mule today, or am I going to just hang out and look at some? Is it a museum?
Hey, it's our home away from home, so I might as well make it feel like home, right?
That's exactly what I say. It's awesome. So you grew up in Deer Park, and then. I know you're all up. So if you go again to the place, you'll see about all your military service, and you're a real dedicated patriot as well. So.
Yes, I joined the Navy out of high school, and volunteered for sea duty. No women were on board ship yet, so I was one of the first.
Why? I want to know the backstory.
Why? Yes. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to do something different.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid of anything, pretty much. I even bungee jumped in New Zealand. I couldn't believe I did that one.
Bungee jumped in New Zealand.
Yes, that was crazy. Of course, I had some red wine to help me.
What year was that?
That helps.
That was back in the...
I graduated in 78.
Okay.
And I was the first group of 10 of 100 women to go aboard ship on the USS Samuel Gompers. It was a destroyer tender based out of San Diego. And it was a good experience because I really had to prove myself. I always kind of referred myself to, I was very naive. Mm-hmm. I believed anything and everything. And the guys, I think, understood that and saw that. So they kind of were my big brothers kind of taking care of me. So we got to take care of this one. But I was the first 10 girls on there. And it was a good experience because we had never done anything like that before. And they, we even got Newsweek magazine. They interviewed us, actually.
Did they really?
So that was pretty cool.
What was your job aboard the ship?
I was non-rated because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I was in the deck division. So I had a very, very important job.
Yeah.
I was in charge of toilet paper, but they didn't call it that. They call it the SHIT paper.
Okay.
And toilet paper and tools for the deck division. So that's what.
A lot in common.
That's what
Bill's
I did.
job
That was
here.
really important. And
It's a shitty job.
and my cleaning gear was always in the forward part of the ship, so I had to go all the way, female aboard before I come aboard, and. The guys always made fun of me, kind of say, "Oh yeah, we're ready." And I remember one time I'd literally go down there and they were just standing there butt naked trying to make, make them, of course I was turned around and went back up. And now I would have just stood there and laughed at them. But
Right.
I can imagine the 80s, right? You're in the 80s.
Yeah.
You're like
10
women on board.
Yes, and disco. Disco, I wore my disco. I wore my heels, went to Tijuana dancing. So when I was not working, so our ship was in San Diego, so I had my disco dress. Of course, I had to take my heels off because they had those little spikes, holes.
Right.
Yeah, so I had to carry that, but then I had to walk all the way down the deck, the pier to get, to Tijuana. So it was
how
fun.
long did you serve in the Navy then?
I was in there for 2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then after I got out, I went to work and I met my husband later on in life, about a couple years later, and we met in a bar. It was Jason's right there in Clear Lake, and we dated for 3 weeks. 3 weeks after we dated, he asked me to marry him. We got married, and we've been married 38 years.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Congratulations.
I love it. Yes,
It's not
Thanks.
easy these days anymore, for
Yeah.
sure. So that's.
But how we we got he always kind of his own kind of person. He kept getting laid off in the John Deere dealership, so that's how we ended up being self-employed. He had his truck, and he used to do John Deere heavy equipment. So that's how he went on his own. So that's how we started our business, was doing heavy equipment repair. I did all the book work and worked for a full-time job, taking care of insurance and the kids, and he did all the field jobs and that kind of thing.
So have you always been at the same location? I mean, that's an awesome location. So
No, we were, because we did heavy equipment repair, we were over there in McCalla and Dixie. We were, I'll call it in the hood, pretty much.
Oh, okay. That's right.
It was not a retail location. It was like our.
But you got to
our
get started somewhere.
Yes, our test track. Well, it's funny how we started out. We had a metal industrial building. Our road was just that was our test track, was to be able to go back and forth. And the only way people found out about us was we did the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We started. We had a booth from 2005 all the way up to 2015. We showed there for 10 years. But we, to back up a minute, when we were doing back in the 90s, we did Texas Trophy Hunters. And back then we had a Raptor utility vehicle, and no one was doing hunting rig. Everybody was doing hunting rigs on trucks, but they weren't doing them on utility vehicles. So we had a really good idea that why not just do this on a lower scale for the hunters, and it just really took off. We found we had a real niche in the market, so our business changed because Ritchie Brothers moved in town and flooded the market with heavy equipment, and it was really tough
Big
for us
auction
back then. So we said, well, what if we just become a Kawasaki dealer? Because that was all at the time. It was just John Deere and Kawasaki. That was it. So we applied for a Kawasaki dealership, and we became a Kawasaki dealer in October of 2002. And then the rest is just, we started from there and built our business.
Boom, blew it up, right?
Yeah, Scott and I we had our truck all wrapped with all our vehicles that we carried. And I remember one time, and actually I had mentioned it to Tiffany earlier, that we would do our own deliveries. Because back then it was just Scott and I, and we had two guys in the shop. And literally the phones were just coming out, and we had our 800 number there on the truck, and we had a Tom car in the back of the trailer, and we were somewhere in West Texas, and somebody was calling about it. So we literally pulled off on the side of the road, unloaded it, and gave them a test ride.
There you go.
It was really cool. So, but we would do dawn deliveries, but we kind of have started our business there was in that.
Tractors. So I think about Kawasaki, right, with the mules and such. I mean, I see that as almost a newer thing. I mean, time gets away from you, so I don't exactly know how long the mules have been out, but I know that nobody had mules when I was growing up, and then it just boom. Then of course, you go to the deer lease. So you had the old beat up Subarus or pickup trucks and all
Old
these
pickup
things.
trucks.
The old
Yeah.
three-wheelers back then.
That's what we had back in our deer leases.
Yeah.
We never had it. Then it was just like, okay, this is actually more functional to actually get out of it. You can store different things, and we'll talk about some of the props we have up here as well to actually functionally get your weapons and stuff without having an old beat up pickup truck and stuff. But so what's the split? I mean, are you more now mules as opposed to like equipment like?
Oh yeah, Kawasaki mules are our number one item number one equipment that we carry. Since we moved to Alvin in 2010. We have a huge location. It used to be a Dodge dealership. We have 15 acres and a test track.
Yeah.
But Kawasaki is the only side-by-sides that we carry. But we also carry Massey Ferguson tractors, Bad Boy tractors. We just picked up Exmark tractors. We're in the process of adding Sherp, which is a really cool amphibious off-road vehicle that's really neat.
I saw one in front of your deal.
yeah,
you have to get one.
yeah,
I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but you never know.
He's like, I want it.
Yeah.
It just looks cool.
We can wrap it and write it off.
Right, there you go.
But
Can you drive it down 45? I don't know if that's possible.
if we can get away with it, well,
you can do it until you get caught.
Well, until we have a flood in Houston, then they'll be wanting us to go to save people, because that's a search and rescue kind of vehicle. So
That's right.
it will go anywhere and everywhere. But the Kawasaki Mule, actually the Kawasaki Mule started in 1988. That's how it began, and it was actually created by two guys in a restaurant. They drew it on a paper napkin, and that's how they come up with the concept and the idea. And it had one steering wheel, one seat, and a bed in the back. So that's how I started out with it. But first time I ever saw a Kawasaki Mule was back in the mid-'90s. And it was actually picking up my son's girlfriend, well, his friend girl. she drove up in the mule, and I said, "What is that?" So I remember seeing that, and that was like 4 or 5 years later. We ended up becoming a dealer for him.
Wow.
But
It was like a golf cart kind of thing
That's
back
what I
in
said.
the day.
You see those on the,
But
Yeah.
the groundskeepers on golf courses using those.
Yeah, and when we started outfitting, it was really a fun story. I don't know if I've told you this or not. Back when we first started the mules and we started outfitting them, I had one customer that he was part of a lease on the King Ranch, and he was a big group of about 10, 12 guys. And he came in and outfitted it, and everybody was, back then we did the high seat and the one seat and that kind of thing. So he took it to his lease, and everybody else wanted it. And he got tired of lending it out, so the next year he started renting it out to him because these are all his friends, so they're cool. But then after that, they said, "We're not going to rent; we're going to go get our own." So every time one would come in after the other, and they would always try to outdo the other guy. So that's kind of and that's what makes it fun because we always listen to our customers and what their application is, how they're using it, and then we make it for them. And that's what we've kind of built Kawasaki mules for. And
Custom mules, custom
save a truck,
crews.
drive a mule. I've always said that all the time.
Well, you said you mentioned King Ranch, so you've had people basically from everywhere come, and where's the farthest somebody has come to buy Kawasaki mule from you?
The farthest, I've had them from California and I've had them from New Jersey.
South Africa.
I actually had a customer that did it for ice fishing up there in Michigan,
Wow.
and he bought a Kawasaki mule to take up there
And
for
what
that.
what brought them to you? To you specifically?
Because the best kind of nowadays is all about social media and stuff, but back then it's just customers talking to customers. I mean referrals, yeah. Talking to their friends and say, hey, are they seeing what we have? And just like this is a holster. This is something that I invented.
Show us this. This is cool.
This is when the Kawasaki Mule Pro came out. It came out in summer 2014. And we knew something was coming because we never could compete against the Polaris Ranger, and because we didn't have the suspension and all that. But my idea was on the Kawasaki Mule, they have on the roll cage they have a
Producers
shoulder.
looking at me like
Easy Range Rider.
Yeah, I had to paint that blue because I got in trouble. I did this at the rodeo back in 2018, and it was all black, and I got in trouble for it, so I had to paint it. But this is my second version of it. We've updated it. But what it does is everybody, when you're out hunting or out there, in your land, and especially in West Texas, you got snakes and everything else, you want to be able to grab your pistol.
Pigs.
And actually, Steve Austin's one of our customers.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And we delivered one of his, we've done 4 of his mules.
That's
but
Steve Austin.
he
Okay.
told-
Gentlemen,
Stephen F. Austin.
We could rebuild him.
But we went out and delivered
You
one
with
of
the
his
Rowdy
mules.
Loafers. We're a little bit interrupting, so.
We delivered one of his mules, and he told me about the story that he had laid up his pistol on the dash, and it's somewhere out there, but he has no clue where. So I had come up with this idea that I'm always leaving my cell phone everywhere. And everybody who needs a pistol will be able to just grab it real quick. So this is what this does: is it goes on the roll cage. You got the front seat, the rear seat, and then you
Is
have
it
the
Velcro
passenger
on?
in the front.
Is that a Velcro?
No, it's not a Velcro. It's actually snaps.
Oh, okay.
My original design was Velcro, but this is much better.
Yeah.
First time we had a Velcro thing out, and it just is really loud. When you're out there hunting, you don't want to scare the animals.
Yeah, good point.
So this, and plus you want to grab it real quick. I did have it where you had an inside pocket, but this is an outside pocket so you can grab it. But I call it my mule holster. And what's really cool on this side of it, on the inside, right here, is where you put your cell phone. Right here. So
Love it.
that way you always know where your phone is, and you always know where your pistol is, and you not only but you can have it on the passenger, and you can have it on the back passengers.
If that ain't country,
as
I don't know
well.
who you are here.
Well, no, you're basically packed and loaded. Seriously,
Packed and loaded.
And that's what you do in Texas, right?
Yeah.
You have to be.
Where's my cell phone? Where's my pistol at?
You have to
Alan
be.
Coe says if that ain't country, you can kiss my ass.
But
Yes, right.
but we make these to match our. We also do custom seats, so we also do those to match our custom seats as well. So,
Like multi-level kind of stuff as well that I've seen. People, can't you get on top and hunt off the top of it?
Well, we have aluminum tops that you can actually stand on.
Right.
Now, you don't want to drive and stand on it because
No,
I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that's probably happened, but I don't want to know
I've
about
never,
it.
I have no idea who would do something like that.
Challenge accepted.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, don't drive. Actually, be parked.
This big old fat head up there doing that.
But what's nice about
Producer's
aluminum
gonna
is
shut you
that
off,
our
Eric.
world doesn't rust, so you won't have to worry about that. But it's definitely secure. We even did for Arlington Stadium, the bomb squad.
Oh, yeah.
We've actually did some custom custom mules for them, not with the holsters, but we did the custom tops, and they have special ladders that go up. So they actually inspect the stadium before every game, and they use our mules to do that.
That's
so
amazing.
it's pretty cool.
Probably sell these in here.
On that.
We could sell these with our. We started working with Turtle Box, by the way. That's a new little bing plug that we just started with. We met him at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off, and that's been a really great thing. It sounds great. It
Bluetooth
lasts.
speaker.
Have you heard about these guys? They're
No.
from Houston, so we're going to connect everybody. You can plug it into your
On my printer.
your mule, and anyways, just cool people like yourselves and these guys and other.
That's what I
Houston
love
based
about
companies.
y'all is, this is what a small business is about, is networking, and, your customers are our customers, and we just network each other, and, customers get the best of everything.
That's good.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
want everyone to succeed. We good.
Right.
Say secede.
Yeah, that too.
Well, there's
Okay, we're seceding. Yes. as
Yeah.
well.
it's a different podcast.
Play on
Yes,
words.
yeah.
Little play on words.
Check podcast number
Yeah.
2, 3, 7, and 4.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably about right.
Bring it on up.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Come on, Pork.
Oh.
Bring it on up, buddy.
Oh, we want to throw some shout outs as
Yeah,
well
yeah.
beyond Turtle Box. We also have Grace's Pizza here in house. So right here is.
Oh, is this
other
what you were
friends.
talking about?
Yeah, this
Yeah, so they're
Okay.
the guys divided. They're Aggies and other folks. 4 guys from Houston, and they had some issues with something that was not waterproof, weatherproof, life-proof, and all that. And so they created something that was buoyant. It can actually float, and you can't have water, salt water, other things wouldn't mess up the actual cone of the speaker itself. And it actually sounds great here, and because of the wavelength frequencies, it can be about at the end of this room over here and sound exactly the same. These kinds of things.
it's pretty amazing.
It
Yeah,
is
and they-
awesome.
He was saying too that another really neat thing about it is you can link 2 of them together,
Right.
And then it isolates the sound, the right and the left, immediately
stereo.
from your phone, and it
Right.
gives you true stereo sound wherever you just push a button on it and isolates.
I heard that
Creates
at the
true
cook-off.
stereo
It was
sound.
amazing.
It is amazing. You hear sound over here, sound over there.
Yeah.
And you can submerge them completely in salt water or whatever you want to
You
do.
could take your mule up to the feeder or whatever, take it, and you could spin it,
Yep.
so you can be far away and it sound just the same. Anyways, those are just
scare
some
all the
plugs.
deer off in stereo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's really cool?
Yes.
Speaking of that, deer sound.
Come
What
on.
we do stereo systems too as well, and then you can pair up like that as well. But we can also do download animal sounds. So
There
when
you
you're
go.
when you're out
Yeah,
hunting,
yeah.
you it's really cool. You go
Distressed
out there
pig or
and
whatever, yeah,
yes,
get
because
carried
it
out.
actually works. It works pretty good.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I have those downloaded in my Bluetooth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Check out episode 17 for the Goat Boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're a little weird up here, Shannon,
Just
but she's used to it. She's used to it.
Oh yeah.
We have a good time, but we always had to infuse a little bit of our Texas history, Texas culture, all of our friends that support Texas businesses, as you said, and do cool stuff that people haven't heard about. And that's why I wanted to kind of talk about not just this thing, which is amazing, but the mules. So you got to see it in Alvin, Texas.
You know how the mule got the name? What do you think? What do y'all think the mule stands for?
Drug smuggling.
Why do you think they called it the mule? Just curiosity.
That's where your head went, was drug smuggling.
It's mule is like border
You don't
crisis.
That's that
want
Clint
me to
Eastwood
answer that question. No, you really don't.
And actually, the letters actually stand for something.
What's the acronym?
It's a multi-use lightweight equipment.
Nice.
Hey,
Yes.
heard it first
So now,
here.
Not
yeah.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You call them ATVs, UTVs. There's a lot of acronyms. Again,
That's
You're
how I
a
came of
UVC,
UV country, and now we're UVC power sports, tractors, and outdoors, but UV utility vehicle. That's what everybody used to call them.
Okay.
But then the recreational kind came out, and then now they call them side-by-sides.
Okay.
right.
They're not really ATVs. ATVs are ones with handlebars, and then basically you got a steering wheel.
All right, so you're
It's
sitting on it.
That's
straddling
ATV.
it. ATV.
ATV, yes. In the state of Texas, since 2008, you have to title them just like a car.
So can you talk about that just real quick? Because I know it's very confusing. Because we got a side by side, and they're like, you can't put it on the road unless the road is not a public road. If it's part of a subdivision, it's not really clear. Or if you go get a title for it, or if you put a sticker on it.
They're
really
not
sure.
street legal, but you can make them street legal, and it depends on your neighborhood. Basically, if you have golf carts, to me, honestly, the Kawasaki Mule is so much safer than what a golf cart does,
Right.
because you have doors to protect you, and it's just a much better vehicle. You get a title just like a car, but you don't get a license plate.
Right.
So it just depends on your neighborhood. A lot of our customers still buy our utility vehicles or side by sides and drive them around in the neighborhood. I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of them in Friendswood.
I have.
And they're starting to get more and more popular. So and they're great in the neighborhoods. I mean, use them. Customers use them for not only work but for fun and for recreational. And of course we have the mule, but we also have the crazy mud park world, which that's a whole that's crazy what they do
Those
with
are fun,
those.
though.
Yes,
So are these all gas powered, right?
gas, and
Okay.
we have diesel too.
You do have diesel.
Yes, yeah, we have diesel as well.
Will they go electric in the future? I mean, I'm sure.
Kawasaki just came out with a motorcycle that's electric, and then when it's running, it charges the battery, so you don't even have to plug it in. So actually, we just went to the dealer meeting. They introduced a new HVAC, which is the AC cab unit, which is called the Ridge, which I'm going to fuss at them because they should have called it Mule Ridge, which is still part of the Mule family.
Right.
And I'm going to tell them about that in Ichiban in the next meeting.
I bet you will.
Yes,
too.
I will. And but it's actually that's what we have at the rodeo this year. I mean, of course, now the rodeo's going on, but I know when this airs, the rodeo will be over with. But by then, we'll have the vehicle. So definitely, it's HVAC. It has a nice air conditioner. It's just like a full size cab truck, and they drive like a truck. They've really fixed them up really nice. Right now, they have the one bench, and eventually, they're going to have the two bench as well.
Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
your mule would really come in handy for us at the cook-off.
Oh, yeah.
So this next year, between now and then, I want to
Yeah, it's a
talk about
partnership
as
for sure.
partner and get something for us.
Yeah,
to-
most
to
definitely.
utilize out
Well,
there.
I bet you probably saw the ambulances.
Yes, we did. Yes.
We build those for the
Wow.
mules. So yeah,
Those are
that's-
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they
And
take care of all the
definitely-
people that have a little bit too much to
plastic
drink.
sides on them and all that. It's
Yeah.
cool.
They're busy.
Yes, they're busy, especially a cook-off.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to get in through the crowds and stuff. And we actually sold a couple ambulances all the way in New Jersey. They couldn't get a full size ambulance up because it's too steep, and the mule was lighter weight. So they ordered two of the mule ambulances that we have.
Wow.
And even back in the day when we first started, before the Pro came out, we actually did one for a helicopter pad in South Dakota. That they had to be transported from the helicopter pad to the hospital, and they didn't want to spend the money on a full blown ambulance, so we did a mule with a enclosed cab with a heater to be able to transport them from the helicopter to the
That's cool.
to the deal.
I can
And-
see that for like mountain rescue, that type of thing.
Oh yeah. And then a big reason we moved to Alvin from the Hood, how we got there was the Hood from Makawa.
Die. Yeah.
And it was funny, Makawa, that was the street where our business was of. You think about Makawa, it's my Kawasaki. That's what I always thought of.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But anyway, we got awarded a really big contract for SOCOM when the Terrexes come out.
Wow.
So when you come to our store, of course, we do anything and everything for our veterans. Our country wouldn't be where we're at if we didn't have our veterans. And so I try to do as much as we can. But I have a really nice memorial rock, the Land of the Free because of the Brave, on there at my store that you've seen
Right.
on that. But the Kawasaki Terex we had a big contract, 5-year contract, and we did it in 3 years. And what was really cool about that contract, sometimes I would get phone calls or emails from over there in Iraq, and it was so cool for them. They were calling and talking about needing stuff for the vehicle and stuff. But it was really neat that we were able to be part of that, to be able to help our soldiers to be able to get around in.
That's
awesome. Thank you for that.
That was
Yeah,
cool
100%.
on that.
Fantastic. So what's next? What are you going to do? I mean, going to continue to grind and build your business up? You want to keep
Of course.
your place is fantastic
grind.
there. I didn't know if you're going to try to get multiple locations. If you want to keep that.
Oh, I do not see how
locations.
anybody can do more than one location.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
people, right? Trying
We
to.
agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People ask me that all the time. I'm like, it's so
Yeah.
difficult, as you know,
Yeah.
to run a business and take care of your people and do cool things. We just did a Texas Independence Festival as well, by the way, a couple weeks ago, and it was great. We had Lance Berkman there and others.
This is at her location.
Yeah, at her location. It was really, really cool. So, yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
supporting Texas as well and all the musicians.
Yeah,
and all the
Lance.
people that-
Lance is a great guy. He there's a funny story how I met him. I told you the story where I was setting up at Trophy Hunters, and Andy Pettit had come to our booth, and I didn't recognize him because this is back in the '90s. And no, it wasn't the '90s because we were mules. I had to be it was backtrack up. It's about 2005, 2006. And anyway, Andy Pettit had come up, and I didn't recognize him. And then after I did recognize him, his friends were there too, and they were kind of laughing at me. But Anyway, Andy had gotten on the phone with Lance Berkman saying, because Lance Berkman had a Jeep that he wanted, so Lance was wanting a mule. So Lance ended up coming to our store about a month later after Trophy Hunters because of Andy Pettit coming to our booth.
Nice.
So, but Lance has come to our In the Hood store a couple of times, and he's come to our store there in Alvin too, but he's a great guy.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I was very happy for him too.
yeah.
He's
doing some great
done
stuff.
really,
He's doing
really well.
He does a lot of charity work for the community here in Houston. He's coaching as well here in Houston, which is fantastic. So
Yeah.
all good.
Man, is it time for boot of the week?
Good stuff.
I think it is. So these, you probably saw these online. You can see them on our website as well.
Oh yes, of course, my boots.
So we have to show off your fancy boots. So of course, she came in. She's like, of course, I need to do something special. I'm the queen of Texas over here. Give me something that's really unique. So we had some King Cobra.
You want me to take them off?
Yeah, if you could.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
Yep.
I
Okay.
want
Let me get maneuvered.
to. All right, she's gonna maneuver taking the boot off of here.
Yep.
And I have never
But-
I haven't never done this boot thing until you showed me the other day. All
This is
the
a
time I've
boot
been
jack.
pulling
You
it
probably
off.
can't see it. Yeah, if you're watching online, maybe you can see it. We'll do some clips as well to show actually how boot jack works. I
Okay.
hear that so much. I mean, I just grew up using boot jack.
So I put my foot there.
So you put your foot.
A
Oh,
little higher up. There you go.
About there.
right there.
Perfect.
It will save your back.
There you go.
Check these boots out. Aren't they
right.
awesome? Check this. I gotta do like Vanna White. Hold on.
Yeah, Vanna.
Straight up.
Check
Yeah,
this out.
all the way up. Oh yeah, the nails. Check out the nails. Producer, I don't know if you
Every
can.
girl that has custom boots at Republic, you gotta have nails to make.
Yes, that's right.
That's a definite.
So we have a new section back there.
Okay.
Instead of
There you go.
Instead of our new hat store, we should make just a nail salon to
salon.
like make
Yes.
your nails just like the boots.
Hey, you may have some guys come in here do that too.
Hey, Fireball
Never
Bill
know.
all day
You're so
long.
pretty.
Yeah, Bill.
I better stop.
I know. So this is King Cobra. So we love this hide. It's a really unique hide, but the issue with the hide is that it's very narrow. It's a King Cobra. It's not like a giant python where you can have the entire vamp done. So we have to do it kind of in pieces, but it's got some really interesting kind of grain to it. What we did is we took the belly of the King Cobra, and Javier, our master stitcher here, did it all the way up, which is extremely difficult to do because, again, we make boots in different sections. We call it the vamp, the counter, and the top. To do the vamp all the way up to the top is it's an art form. I honestly don't know how he did it, but it's that kind of magic that happens with the artists that we have here. And then I drew up the top, right?
I love the design. The design is awesome. And not only the front, you did the back too.
Thank you.
Exactly, front, back,
also. Yes.
with the kind of the tongue of the snake up there. But gorgeous electric blue King Cobra, just from Miss Shannon Tracy here to show off, right?
Oh, I love
Maybe
it.
tweak it a little bit for you, but hey, that's what we do here. We got to continue to work it until you're satisfied.
I absolutely love my boots.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yes.
Cool. So how do we find you? What's the way that we can go out there and have everybody seek you guys out at UVC?
Our website is uvconestop.com.
One stop.
And I keep my, and I don't know how many times people call me and say, do you have this in stock? I keep my website updated daily. And everything you see, what you see is what you get. What we have online is true.
Hear that? Daily.
True. Daily.
I know.
Daily. As best as there might be a day or two I miss, but I always keep it up. So, yes.
But you guys
I
are
have a lot of
posting as well.
inventory.
Yeah, you guys are posting online
Yes.
on social
Yeah.
media.
Social media as well.
I love
course-
your ads. Everything you do, it's fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's fun to watch.
Thank
It's
you.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, we try to have fun with it too.
know, right?
We have 15 acres test track, so yes.
He did that on purpose.
Actually, yeah. Can we block out Bill's
Oh, is
face
that in
here
your
on
face?
the thing right there?
There.
Just kidding.
All right.
Or I'm not kidding. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Shannon. This has been fantastic. Again, we're all about Texas history, great people, and all those things. You kind of blend everything into one. Great person, great business, fantastic product and what you do. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Veteran,
Speaking of-
patriot, everything.
Patriot.
Speaking of Texas, every time I do a video, this is kind of a funny story. Every time I end it, I always kick my foot up and I say, ah. So when I have customers call me, are you the aha lady? Are you the redhead in the video? I say, yes, I'm on the phone, so it's a lot of fun. So
Well, let's keep the tradition going.
All right.
aha, wait, wait. I got to get my boot on first.
All right, it's time for a drink real quick.
I got to get my boot and then I got to kick it up. Hold
So
on.
we do this on audio version, also the video version. You have to go on YouTube to really see the video version, so you can see all the craziness that we have here in the actual Republic Boot Company. We're on the stage here at Republic Boot Company, by the way.
Okay, so this is what is what I always do.
Okay. Show.
So come on down to UVC Power Sports Tractors and Outdoors. Aha!
Aha! There it is. All right. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you all.
Thanks.
All right. See y'all.